everyone is here. This is Coral, and I think I'd like to thank you all for attending today's meeting and explore more Web3 possibility. This event is hosted by PermaDAO and the LayerTwo Labs, and this is Coral from PermaDAO. And I think it is going to be a wonderful event, and the date of our event is wonderful because, you know, maybe there will be a little bull market in the near future. So I can't wait for our first guest speakers, Aki Bailo. So Aki, are you here?
Good morning.
Hello, Aki.
GM.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
Okay, yes. I'm really sorry. And I can't wait for our first guest speaker, Aki Bailo from the LC Link. And I think, Aki, you could share your screen and show your speech for us.
Great. Sounds good. Give me a quick moment to share the screen. And all right, here we go. Okay, well, welcome everybody, GM, and glad you showed up. So yeah, my name is Aki Balog. I co-founded DLC Link, and it's 8 in the morning over here in New York, so I'm just waking up, but I appreciate the opportunity to present to you all. So what DLC Link, so essentially we are building what we call a theft-proof Bitcoin bridge. And I will explain what that means and how that works. But essentially, the problem that we are solving is that there is over $600 billion of Bitcoin value. That is clear. And we, of course, think that there's going to be a lot more Bitcoin value with the BlackRock ETF and you know, some of these developments. I mean, you can see El Salvador adopted Bitcoin, and I think other countries, you know, and citizens of other countries are going to follow. So there's a lot of Bitcoin. There's going to be even more Bitcoin. This is great. But the problem is, as soon as you want to use that Bitcoin in any kind of finance, you want to take a loan on it, you want to invest it to earn a return. As soon as you want to do anything with the Bitcoin, you have to use custodians, basically. You have to use some form of centralization. And so, you know, as we know, because you are all in crypto, of course, custodial failures happen all the time. You have FTX, of course, all of these other ones, you know, Celsius, Voyager, etc. And, you know, they have lost over $140 billion. And then you also have bridge hacks. So if you're looking to bridge Bitcoin to another chain to use in DeFi, you know, you use a bridge, but these bridges get hacked left and right. You have the wormhole hack, the Ronin bridge hack. I mean, there are so many. And this is terrible. I mean, this is basically, this has, you know, destroyed a significant portion of crypto value that has been created. And right now in Bitcoin, there's no way around it. Either you are using a centralized custodian, so you're taking the world's most decentralized asset and you are sending it to a custodian, or you're using a bridge that can be hacked. And this is not going to scale. And so we are implementing DLCs, which actually stand for discrete log contracts. And so what are DLCs, first of all? Well, DLCs were invented by the creator of the Lightning Network, Taj Dryja. He was an MIT researcher, and in 2018, he published this white paper on DLCs, which talks about enabling smart contract functionality for Bitcoin. You know, the original paper was basically, how would you get two people in a Bitcoin transaction to have an off-chain entity, you know, or an off-chain entity basically move the Bitcoin. And so he called this a Bitcoin oracle. And this was like a theory at the time. Well, turns out that we have a really great Bitcoin oracle, Ethereum, because Ethereum has price oracles, it has blockchain, it has, all of the components that you would need to be able to control Bitcoin. So you can, with a DLC, you can actually have Ethereum control Bitcoin movement, which is huge, which means that you can have Bitcoin in Ethereum through this DLC mechanism, and you don't need to use a bridge, you don't need to use a custodian, and you are not centralizing what you do, which is huge. Basically, you are entrusting the Bitcoin chain, the Ethereum chain, and then the DLC structure, which I will talk through the mechanism for that. But this is tremendous. And so how does this work? If this is so, this is so amazing, how does it work? Well, DLCs are basically a 2 of 2 multi-sig on Bitcoin chain. So you have Alice and Bob. In the original white paper, for Taj's white paper, Alice and Bob were both people. It was, you and I get into a 2 of 2 multi-sig, we both put some Bitcoin in, and the oracle decides what happens. In our implementation, Alice is a human depositor, somebody with Bitcoin, and Bob is an application, a DeFi protocol. And so, the way it works is Alice deposits Bitcoin into this 2 of 2 multi-sig, and then an Ethereum smart contract determines how the Bitcoin is moved, whether it goes back to Alice or over to Bob. And so the Ethereum smart contract can communicate, like how does the Ethereum contract communicate with Bitcoin? Well, it uses this off-chain node called an attestation node. And so this is the element that DLC link or DLCs add, is you have this attester that is basically translating signals from Ethereum to Bitcoin. Well, so how does that even work? And I will walk through it because I think it's interesting for all of you to understand. So you have 3 Bitcoin transactions. In the first transaction, a DLC is set up between the user and the application. So this 2 of 2 multi-sig is created. And they choose, Alice and Bob choose one or more attesters, these off-chain, translation entities to govern this transaction. We at DLC Link, we provide a network of attesters. So you're not just choosing one, but you are choosing a number of them that, of course, have a threshold set up between them, but we'll get to that. So in the second step, Alice deposits Bitcoin and pre-signs the conditional payment paths where the Bitcoin can go. So the great thing about this is that when Alice pre-signs it and Bob also pre-signs it, those paths are the only paths where Bitcoin can go. So the Bitcoin you deposit can only go back to you, or it can go to the protocol. And those are the only places it can go. And this is huge because the way bridges work, and the reason bridges fail, is bridges are moving tokens to a third-party address. You use a bridge, you give it an address, move the token here, and these addresses can change. And so a hacker can take advantage of it, change the address to their wallet, and pull the tokens out and take it in their wallet. With a DLC, this is physically impossible. You pre-sign where the Bitcoin can go, and the Bitcoin can only go to Alice or Bob. If anybody hacks the system, they hack all the attesters, they cannot steal the Bitcoin. You are not locking the Bitcoin into the attester, you are locking it with yourself. And this is the core feature of DLCs that make it a theft-proof Bitcoin bridge. So Alice deposits the Bitcoin, pre-signs. At that point, the DLC is funded. And at that point, in our protocol, which I will talk about, we can then issue a deposit token, a DLC BTC token that you can use on Ethereum and DeFi. Anyway, the last step is settlement. So the Ethereum smart contract, let's say you are unlocking or unminting, the Ethereum smart contract sends a signal to the attester the attester translates it to Bitcoin settlement instructions, that moves to Bitcoin, and you get the Bitcoin back. So this is basically how any DLC structure works. And any developer who wants to use Bitcoin in their application can implement this if they choose to. So what we are doing with this is we are using this DLC structure to create a new token called the DLC BTC token. This is a fully non-custodial wrapped Bitcoin token that can be used in DeFi on Curve and Aave and protocols like that. The difference is, of course, right now everybody is using WBTC, or I would say $5 billion of values in WBTC, but it is custodial because you're sending your Bitcoin to BitGo. With DLC BTC, this is the only token on the market where you actually hold the Bitcoin in a DLC. You have one of the keys to the 2 of 2 multisig, and it is basically locked under self-custody. So, and it cannot be stolen or censored in any way. I'll quickly talk through, obviously, we are looking to list this on all the DeFi protocols that users want to use, like Aave, Compound, so on, and having Curve pools and Uniswap pools, etc., so that Bitcoin depositors can earn LP fees through depositing into these pools. So very typical DeFi, opportunities to make yield on the Bitcoin while you're holding it without adding that risk. We are building on Ethereum at the moment, and we plan to expand to Solana, Polkadot, Cosmos. We also have some close relationships with Stacks chain, but look at for an Ethereum version of DLC BTC coming out in Q1 of next year, so next February. The team, just a little introduction. I have been an AI entrepreneur for over 12 years. I've been in crypto for 3 years. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, we can say. My co-founder was an early employee at Twitter. He grew up in Silicon Valley. He leads our engineering team. And then among our advisors, we have the head of BD at LayerZero, formerly the head of BD at Chainlink. We also have the former head of BD at Thesis, which is a Bitcoin bridging company. And we have Nadav Cohen, who was the first cryptographer to implement DLCs in a production setting. And looking at time, I'll quickly wrap up. As I mentioned, we are launching DLC BTC token in February. So that is going to be a big deal. We are decentralizing the attester layer in order to make that possible. And we have raised almost $2 million, $1.85 million to date from funds like ABCDE Capital, Chainlink, Trust Machine, Sequoia, Waterdrip Capital, etc. And so we are now working on securing the first CFI DeFi customer. I will end with, I know we have 2 minutes. I will end with, if there are any developers in the audience who are interested in using Bitcoin in DeFi, or if you're interested in developing applications that use native Bitcoin, please join our Discord. You can go to our website, dlc.link. You can find the team on Discord. We also actually have a Mandarin language community on Telegram, and we have some other communities too, but follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, and then you can be a part of this revolution using Bitcoin and Ethereum in a trustless way. So thank you for the time. I think that's it for me, and then you will see me on a panel later today.
Thank you, Aki. Thank you for your speech, and thank you for your time. I think, yes, I am looking forward to the DLC Link's future and its development. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
If anybody have any question, you can ask Aki. And you can DM him on Twitter, or you can have some contact. Okay.
Please do. Thank you so much.
Okay. So after Aki's speech, we will have another guest speaker from Arweave Eco, PDF team. I think we could give the most warm welcome to Asone. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Hi, I'm fine. I
Good.
think you can give us your speech and share your screen.
Oh, okay, great. Hold on one second. All right, let's go with this. All right, how's that? Let me turn it into play. How does that look?
Good. Very
Good?
good.
Okay, great. All right, let's get this going. I can't see my presenter notes, but that's okay. We'll just make sure it works all together. Hello, how's everybody doing? Hello from chilly New York. It's 8:15 in the morning here. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. I wanted to just give a little speech about Arweave and Ordinals and how they're both using blockchain technology for data storage. Thanks to everybody who put this together and invited me to speak here. I'm thrilled to take part. My name is Anthony. I'm the community manager at Permanent Data Solutions. And our mission is to get permanent storage into the hands of everyone. You may be familiar with our products, ArDrive, which is a Dropbox-like data storage app. Pay once, store forever to store your files in an easy to understand interface. And RIO, which is responsible for creating a decentralized network of gateways to get information from Arweave to your computer, the PermaWeb as we know it. So I thought, let's just kind of kick this off with some similarities between Arweave and Ordinals. For one, they're both open source protocols. In the blockchain space, we all know how important that is, to be decentralized. Everybody needs to have access to the code, know how it works, and things like that. I wish I had my presenter notes. They both write data to blockchains. So Arweave, of course, famous for storing data onto Arweave through the L1 protocol. Ordinals writes data onto Satoshis. These are really important things. Both rely on nodes to store that data. So on Arweave, that data is distributed across the world onto different nodes that stores the data in perpetuity through the endowment. On Ordinals, those rely on the Bitcoin nodes that then, as the blocks sync, you have that data stored on the nodes. And they both offer unique identifiers for data. On Arweave, those are transaction IDs. And on Ordinals, those are the numbers of the Satoshis themselves. So that's just a couple similarities between Arweave and Ordinals. And now let's get into some of the differences between the two. On Arweave, it is purpose-built for storing data. It's its own blockchain, technically a block weave, that enables miners to share that data, work together to, keep all the data without losing it. It's also scalable. The introduction of the ANS 104 bundle standard made it possible to exceed the 1,000 data item limit per block. So with that, you can store in mind-boggling number of data items per block. Bundling really changed the way Arweave scales. The PermaWeb is another big difference between Arweave and Ordinals. The PermaWeb is what enables you to view the data stored, the permanent data stored on Arweave in your web browser through the web that we know today. The PermaWeb is the internet just with permanent data instead of the fluid data that we see on the internet today. And Arweave is a 0-to-1 innovation. Much like Bitcoin is a 0-to-1 innovation for money, Arweave is a 0-to-1 innovation for data. Never before has it been possible for humans to store data perpetually over long periods of time, the way Arweave has, designed its incentives and its mechanics to make that possible. And now, Ordinals inscriptions, you're basically writing data on Satoshis. Satoshis are the smallest unit of Bitcoin. So while you are technically writing data to blockchain, right? These are just stored on individual Satoshis. It's not a full-blown data storage protocol. Limited scale. While there are an obscene amount of Satoshis available, it's like 21 petabillion or something like that. That is still limited in scale. There's only so many Satoshis you can write on. There's only so many nodes that will carry the data when the blockchain, as the blockchain gets written. And nodes can prune that data. So like on Arweave, nodes can choose what data to store, what not to store based on their jurisdiction. If something is illegal in their jurisdiction, then they don't want to store it. Totally fine. On ordinals, nobody has to store that data. There are some things that have come along that make data imprunable, but that comes at hindrance to Bitcoin nodes because that's just extra storage that they need to quantify to use to run a Bitcoin node. So, there's trade-offs there. And ordinals are a new twist on an old idea. Back in 2012, there was this idea of Sats coloring, which would basically assign a color to different Satoshis to identify them in different ways, which is essentially what ordinals are. Ordinals are just a way to identify Satoshis, and inscriptions are a way that you write the data on that. A neat concept, but still an old idea. And just to wrap up, inscriptions are neat, but they're not new. A way to bring NFTs essentially to Bitcoin has been done before. Rare Peppies are probably the most famous NFT in existence, arguably. So yeah, this idea of bringing NFTs to Bitcoin has been around before, has happened. And now, ordinals and inscriptions are just kind of the next flavor of that. These protocols can work together. There's no reason that Arweave transaction IDs can't be inscribed on Satoshis, right? We've seen independent game studio Gradacity create a version of their video game Reveries of Imitar and inscribe them onto ordinals. The game itself is stored on Arweave, so it's permanently available. And if you hold the Satoshi, then you can unlock the game and then play it that way. Arweave is the ideal place to store data at scale on-chain. To me, and maybe a little bit biased, but to me, that's just kind of common sense. You wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer a nail, so why not take advantage of Arweave's ability to scale data, store it in a decentralized fashion, and have it available to everybody. And that's all possible because of the permaweb. With ordinals, you need a marketplace to view whatever it is that you want. You need a marketplace to view what's inscribed on the ordinals. You need an explorer to kind of see how, where that data is. Sometimes nodes don't carry that data, so how do you make sure that it's there? The permaweb is kind of what separates these two in a big way. So with the permaweb, you have access to the data that's stored on Arweave. Yeah, get in touch. This has been my my quick and sweet presentation. I hope you got something out of it. Check out our Drive app and RIO network on X. You can use the promo code GamerArchives for 20% on any top-ups on ArDrive Turbo. Just because we talked about Gradacity a little bit earlier, I figured why not drop in a little promo code here for ArDrive Turbo if you want to upload using ArDrive. Visit RIO/testnet to join our Gateway Network testnet if you're more into the technical side and serving and you want to help us create this decentralized internet that has been long promised, and we're working towards that with RIO. And you can reach out to me directly, anthony@pds.inc. I'm happy to kind of walk you through a little bit more about what I talked about today, and maybe you just want to chat in general. I look forward to getting in touch with everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. If any guest or our audience have any question, you can ask Anthony, and you can just DM him to discuss some cooperation. Okay, so I think thank you, Anthony. Thank you for your great speech. And
Thank you,
I think
Coral.
after Anthony's speech, I think we will next is another OG from Arweave Eco, Tomoya Nagasawa, from WaveDB. So Tomoya, are you ready to?
Yeah, I'm
You are
here.
safely. Okay, okay.
Yeah, do you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I
let
can
me
hear
share
you.
my screen. 1 second.
Okay.
Yep. Do you guys see my screen? And am I muted?
Yeah. No. You
Okay,
are
yeah.
clearly. Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. 1 second. All right, so yes, so my name is Tomo, and I'm the founder of WaveDB, and we are building a decentralized database on top of Arweave as a smart contract. But today, I want to talk about connecting PermaWave with Nostr. PermaWave is the decentralized web on top of Arweave with all the protocols using the PermaWave storage. And Nostr is a decentralized, distributed social protocol emerged from the Bitcoin ecosystem. So I want to combine these two together to talk about onboarding the next billion users to Web3. So how do we truly scale Web3? That's the question I want to answer today. Blockchain cannot scale Web3 for three primary reasons. The first one is blockchain is not a practical database. It's just a primitive ledger, good for token transfers and simple DeFi applications. A practical database would require ACID guarantees with hyper-low latency. ACID stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. And with blockchain, we have to rely on the decentralized consensus finality to guarantee ACID. And even the fastest blockchain takes something like 500 milliseconds to a couple of seconds for its finality. But the database requires less than 1 millisecond finality. So most web applications need a full-featured database, but the blockchain cannot serve as a practical database with hyper-low latency and ACID guarantees. The second reason is, like when we look at the web, it's all about data and the data economy. But the blockchain only handles the financial part of the web with tokens and NFT. But the data part of the web is probably like zillion times bigger than the financial layer. So blockchain can never ever scale to the level of the web scalability. The last reason is, like blockchains are just too expensive. We have to pay for computation and storage. And for example, if you want to store 1 gigabyte of data on Ethereum, it would cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't actually even know how much, to be honest. And for all those reasons, you can never use blockchain as a practical database, and the database is only possible with centralized servers. So this is a huge problem for decentralized applications because most dApps today are using some sort of centralized database, and it's basically a single point of failure. So if you lose the centralized database, your dApp will stop. And service provider managing the database can arbitrarily change the pricing, and the third-party developers need permission to use APIs, and those APIs can be shut down at any time. Well, this is exactly what happened to me with Twitter. And there are many decentralized database solutions out there, but I would say all of them are either impractical or too domain specific. Some of them are based on IPFS, which don't guarantee data permanency. Others are using NFT for data ownership and ZKP for data privacy. But those solutions are too domain specific, which can never replace general purpose Web2 databases. So we are building the first general purpose fully decentralized database as a smart contract, which has got the performance of Web2 indefinite scalability with very high cost effectiveness. So how do we do that? We are building our database solution as a layer 3 rollup to Arweave permanent storage. So Arweave has this unique concept called storage-based consensus paradigm for smart contract. And basically, SCP utilizes Arweave permanent storage and offloads computation to the client side. So smart contract states are deterministically evaluated on the client side from the immutable data stored on Arweave. So users only pay for the cheap permanent storage and not for the free off-chain computation, which makes smart contracts extremely cheap and scalable compared to other blockchain smart contracts. But this lazy evaluation model has a problem with database because database needs a real-time evaluation to guarantee ACID, but the SmartWeave sequencer doesn't evaluate anything, and it's not possible to guarantee ACID with all the decentralized clients trying to upload the smart contract state at the same time. So we developed a layer 3 rollup solution to solve this problem. So each database instance is an app-specific rollup, and we use the Warp SmartWeave sequencer as a settlement layer for rollups. In this way, we can use centralized servers for database performance, but still maintain decentralization with upper layer verifiability. It's just like Ethereum layer 2 rollups. And rollups will immediately be composable on layer 2 settlement layer, thanks to the lazy evaluation verifiability of the Arweave permanent storage. This is a new type of rollup architecture using Arweave instead of Ethereum. And I believe this is the only way to achieve performant and scalable database with full verifiability and decentralization. And let me talk about some features of WeaveDB. So Web3 database requires a pretty different set of features from Web2 database due to its permissionless nature. So you can't just bring in some existing Web2 database like PostgreSQL and try and decentralize the node network. It's not going to work well. So Web3 database should be built from scratch with cryptography and data ownership on the foundation. And data ownership should be programmable with smart contracts. To address this issue, we developed our own domain-specific language called FPJSON. And FPJSON is a functional programming utility with more than 250 composable functions. And you can build any level of advanced logic by composing functions in a form of a very simple JSON array. This enables so many features Web3 database must have, such as crypto wallet authentication, data schemas, access control rules, auto-executed cron jobs, triggers to chain queries, off-chain plugins, and relayers to connect with external data. And everything's expressed as JSON data objects, and stored as smart contract states. WeaveDB is a highly advanced decentralized NoSQL database with simple yet very powerful queries and free on-chain indexers. Since WeaveDB is a general purpose database, there are so many use cases. The primary use case would be social web applications, but it can be used for so many different use cases, such as DID, social protocols, decentralized oracles like Chainlink, and fully on-chain games, decentralized science, and blockchain indexers like the Graph protocol. We are going to onboard 1 million developers from Web2 because WeaveDB makes web development 10 times simpler. So basically, all you have to do is to deploy the database contract, which takes only 2 seconds, and set up some data schemas and access control rules with a simple JSON format, which is very friendly to Web2 developers. We even have no-code web console where you can deploy and set up your database, and you don't have to manage the database because it's a smart contract and it will run forever on blockchain. To prove anything can be built with WeaveDB, we are launching a free decentralized Twitter called JOTS. And JOTS is something like Twitter meets Medium. So you can post notes, articles, images, and interact with each other on timelines. But JOTS is quite different from Twitter because Twitter has one gigantic network managed by a centralized company, but JOTS is just a smart contract. and anyone can fork and deploy their own JOTs within 2 seconds. So there will be hundreds of thousands of JOTs forming a fractal network, which will be unstoppable. So how do we onboard the next billion users? Since we proved that one of the most complex social applications like Twitter can be easily built with WeaveDB, anything could be built with WeaveDB now. So we are going to vampire attack all the popular Web2 applications with the millions of developers we are onboarding. And we will build an unstoppable decentralized network of dApps on the PermaWave. But when we build all those applications, should we invent our own social protocol? We didn't think so. There are so many standardized social protocols out there, so we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So we did some research, and what we found out was Northstar. So Northstar stands for node and other stuff transmitted by relays, and it's basically a distributed social protocol using Bitcoin key pairs to verify data ownership. And no one owns or manages Northstar, and it's a very simple, transparent protocol anyone can use, just like email or internet protocols. So we thought Northstar and Arweave are the perfect match to build all kinds of decentralized social applications on the PermaWave. So it's basically a super simple protocol. There are only 3 components you need to know: events, relays, and clients. An event is just like a blockchain transaction, which expresses user actions. So it has only 7 parameters: kind, content, tags, created at, pub key, ID, and signature. And the kind specifies what kind of content the event contains, and the event owner is verifiable with the public key and the signature. Tags are used to extend the basic properties. For example, kind 0 is for your profiles, and the kind 1 is for user nodes, and so on. So relays are the distributed servers to receive and store events, and clients are basically front-end applications to fetch data from relay servers, and users interact with data through one of the clients. And anyone can set up a relay server, and anyone can build their own client. So there are many different clients using the same data source, but looking differently. Some of them look like Twitter, and others look like Instagram. Northstar does not have permanent data guarantees, so if all relay servers are gone, so your data. It's just like IPFS. The network is distributed, but no one really guarantees your data permanency. So what we wanted to do with Northstar is we wanted to connect Northstar with Arweave permanent storage while providing the power and the flexibility of decentralized smart contract database. So now we have a native integration into the core contract, and the WeaveDB rollup node also works as a Northstar relay server. This is how it works. So Northstar events are just like blockchain transactions. I would say it's pretty raw, unstructured data. So WeaveDB node can receive Northstar events, and they will be stored in an off-chain database. But at the same time, WeaveDB smart contract transforms Northstar events into well-structured collections, like users, nodes, and follows, then stores them on the Arweave permanent storage. This will make it much easier and flexible for Northstar clients to build complex apps on top of Northstar. And at the same time, WeaveDB node will serve data with better performance with gRPC. So you can, of course, query raw Northstar events using WebSockets, but transforming raw data into optimized structures and storing them on chain will open up so many possibilities for Northstar. Arweave also provides media uploads, such as images, videos, and audio data. And Iris, it was called Bundler, by the way, makes it so easy. And WeaveDB can store those media files in a verifiable way to the database. So what WeaveDB and Arweave enable for Northstar, we are bringing data permanency, on-chain indexers, structured data and sophisticated queries, and smart contract programmability, composability, media uploads, better performance and scalability. And Arweave already has many amazing protocols for decentralized data, such as Universal Data License, Atomic Assets, and Stamp protocol. So you could combine the prominence of these protocols with Nostr using smart contract. We are also launching Rollup as a service, which means you will be able to deploy Nostr Relay with just one click. So we are launching JOTS for Nostr soon, and I believe together with Nostr and WeaveDB, we can build all kinds of social applications with scalability and performance on the PermaWave and start real adoption of Web3. So that's the end of my presentation, and let's scale Web3 for real. Yeah, thank you very much. And back to you.
Thank you, Tomo. Thank you for your speech. And if any guest has any question, want to ask Tomo, yes, I think you could discuss it at that event. But if you don't, you can DM Tomo later. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, bye. I think after Tomo's speech, we will turn to Jerry. Jerry from Aggravation will give us his speech. Hi, Jerry.
Okay, can you hear
Are
me?
you ready?
Hello?
Ah,
hear
you
me?
are so cool today. Okay.
Thank you. I will share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello? Okay,
Yes, yeah.
so okay, I will start my sharing. Hello everyone, I'm Jerry, the CMO of Aggravation. Thanks for having me here. Before we jump into the techie stuff, let's start with a question. What is Web3? Yeah. What is the Web3? This question has been circulating for several years. Many have equated Web3 with blockchain technology, crypto, and similar terms. After my sorry, no, we say, oh, we say, sorry, wait a moment. Okay. Okay, yeah. Of my 6-year journey in the crypto industry, I have a slightly different perspective. Stemming from Web 2, Web 3 can be seen as an upgrade of the Web 2 framework. Therefore, it should naturally encompass features of Web 2 and then be enhanced with technologies like blockchain, AI, 6G, or some VR, AR, etc., etc. So that's how Web3 should ideally look like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Web3 is not in opposition or isolation from Web2. They're on the journey together. Imagine if we made Web3 as user-friendly as our favorite apps today. Hence, the ongoing dialogue about the mass adoption shouldn't revolve around migrating Web2 users to Web3. It's about Web2 users can effortlessly adopt it based on their needs. So with that vision, our team having spent some wonderful years at Asia's well-known EOA wallets, I'm Token, had a Eureka moment. We thought, why not create something that truly embodies the spirit of Web3, but without all the complexities. And that's what's born Pay. So why Everpay? Why Everpay? As I mentioned, our founding team has its roots in the awarded company I'm Token. It is a remarkable company, has having 15 million users and used to be the first mobile light wallet for Ethereum. Why at I'm Token, our exposure to countless crypto users made us nearly aware of the high barriers to entry in the crypto space. Blockchain has indeed granted its ownership to users with no third party having undue control. There's a revolution. There's something we take the pride in. Yet every coin has two sides, right? So alongside this innovation come new challenges for the average user in terms of concepts like private keys, the gas fees, the front running or seed freezes, MBV, EVM, etc., etc. When users meet those concepts, I can imagine their face just looks like Jackie Chan's face, in the center of this picture. It was clear that the wire blockchain was revolutionary. It wasn't user friendly. It's like having a supercar, but not knowing how to drive it, right? So this is where our mission become clear. Web3 and crypto need to be simple, intuitive, and accessible. So next is what's the magic behind the Everpay, and why we choose Arweave. Everpay is not just the payment protocol, but can be linked to the LayerTwo network focused on payments. With its ability to execute some millisecond level transfers at zero gas and without TPS constraints, Everpay's transaction experience is on par with centralized payments networks like PayPal, Alipay, MasterCard, Visa, etc., etc. Presently, exports assets from 6 blockchains, including Ethereum, BNB Chain, Arweave, etc. Similar to Arbitrum and other layer 2 solutions, its mechanism involves bundling transactions data via a sequencer. But in our system, we call it the coordinator, and storing it on Arweave for consensus. Our choice of Arweave over Ethereum came after extensive technical evaluation. Our primary goal was a system without TPS limits, offering millisecond transfer and zero gas. So at the beginning, we want to we try to build on top of Ethereum, but Ethereum could not meet these requirements. It can never escape the curse of a limited TPS. The reason is that the Ethereum's blocks have fixed time to be produced, and there is also a size limitation for the blocks. Even if it's successfully scales up in the future, it cannot overcome these restrictions. Just imagine if suddenly have 1 million transactions are sent simultaneously in 1 second. Due to Ethereum layer 1's limitation, the network would still become congested, and the gas fee would skyrocket, right? So there wouldn't be the fundamental change in system performance. The congestion caused by the Arbitrum airdrop a few months ago, right? Shows these points well. Given these issues, we just give up Ethereum directly. And later we tried Filecoin and found that although this public chain is very active, it's basically unusable for development, and the data availability is actually inadequate. More importantly, the data stored on Filecoin is not permanently stored. It requires additional fees to continue using the storage space. This is a difference from AWS. Actually, there is no difference from AWS, and cannot provide the trusted consensus for ledger data. So we give up on that as well. After quite of a journey of exploration, we discovered the Arweave. It was the perfect infrastructure for our vision. Arweave offers a permanent storage blockchain where data, once uploaded, can neither be deleted nor tampered with. This gives it the immutable and the traceable features shared by blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, etc. Right? So any data stored on Arweave achieves a trustless consensus. Even if you were maintaining an Excel ledger on Arweave, it could function as a public, transparent, and immutable peer-to-peer cache system. Yeah. So here's make it stand out. Several three key points. The first key point is no block size limitation. Arweave does not have a block size restrictions. This releases TPS constraints. So even if 1 million transactions happen simultaneously within 1 second, we can store them all at once on Arweave without causing any system congestion. And this is the first one. And this is also the important one, why we choose Arweave. And the second one is the off-chain computation. Arweave does not possess the computing power on-chain. Instead, the computation are performed off-chain. This offers a speed comparable to Web2 applications, and also removes the concept of gas fees. The only cost incurred in the fee for storing data on the chain. And for now, storing data for 1 million transactions around 1 gigabyte data cost $4. And around 0 points, the bunch of the $0.4 per transactions. So it's close to almost nil, right? So we've decided to bear this cost for our users. So this is a second point. And the third point is user accessibility. To further simplify user access, we've built the abstract account (FID) on top of Everpay, and we use the established WebAuthn passkey method. The generated key. It generated key pairs are stored locally on devices, and every transaction is assigned using the device's biometric system. Yeah, with the introduction of the FID, a day-to-day normal user can easily have a non-custody crypto account with just an email registration. So it can lower the barriers for normal users a lot, and help them onboard Web3 very easily. Yeah. So that's some magic behind the Everpay. Yeah, and more people are now discussing mass adoption of Web3. In my view, to truly usher in the Web3 era, we need to break free from the system performance constraints. It's not enough for the industry to only focus on low frequency, high fee scenarios like DeFi or NFT, GameFi, SocialFi, etc. But I think the GameFi and SocialFi is another kind of DeFi because they just emphasize the fi behind the game and the social. So that's not a real game and social. So the DeFi and NFT, they are still in a low frequency and high fee scenarios. But our ecosystem or our industry must hug a high frequency, a low fee interactions that can handle large volumes of concurrent users is most important to attract more Web2 users. So high frequency and low fee scenarios is most important, and we can do that in the future, and we need to find more scenarios like this. Yeah. So we are proud to say that Everpay is paving the way for the entire industry in this direction. Yes. Okay. That's all. What I want to sharing with you today. So thank you for joining us in this in envisioning this future, and let's make it happen together. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for your time. And I think next is Isaac from Yakion. Yakion is a famous project in Nostar Eco. So Isaac, are you there?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Isaac. Yeah, hello. So my name is Isaac. I'm from Yakihon. So I handle the marketing and the business operation of Yakihon. So today I would like to share with you our business and about Yakihon, what we do, and how it's affecting the science side of on the Nostr protocol. So let me just share my screen and we go to the presentation. So all of you like seeing my screen now? Can you confirm that?
Okay. We can see it.
Okay, so welcome to the Yakihon.com presentation. So it's based on decentralized media protocol, and it's anti-censorship and autonomous and automated. So what's Yakihon? So and what's the purpose of building Yakihon? So Yakihon is decentralized media protocol which supports more free and automation of curation and publishing and reporting. So by various media. So one of the important features that we implemented into our websites on the platform, which is we have the top one and most futuristic writing and editor. So we have rich markdowns based on editor or with ChatGPT 4 support for curation automation, and also we have another interesting feature, which is the publishing. So based on the Open Relay network from the Nostr protocol and anti-censorship, so publishing and data safety are guaranteed. So no need to be scared. Like if you want to share any scientific or censorship contents, and also we support the curating. So you can create your favorites and publish articles in one unique for other users to be rewarded. And we have the subscription. So based on relays and pubkeys, extend your content influence all over across the protocol and network. And not to mention the ZEPs function. So it's based on the Lightning Network's payments. that has the lowest cost and high efficiency, while makes it friendly for global users. So our platform our platform states so. Like we currently cover plus than 100 covered countries and plus 15 languages, and we have like more than 100,000 page views and plus than 11,000 piece of contents like articles, videos, podcasts, everything related to scientific and non-scientific articles. So our showcase is like what you can what we have been accomplished lately in Yakihon. So we did a global promotion. So we can promote, or you can promote your work like to plus than 100 countries around the world, and multiple forms of media streaming and interact with the Yakihon global users community to create and expose and attract enthusiasts. So, what do you expect? What you should expect from Yakihon? Yakihon, so we have the multi-language contents and continuous exploration and cutting-edge fields. And also we have the original contents, translations, and research grant funds. And we have the enthusiasts and content creators and also research experts and developers. So by publishing on Yakihon, so you get in touch with those directly with those contents from content till creator and like scientists and developers and all of that. So because we have completed a large coverage of viewers and participants to our platform, which I said earlier, it's plus than 100 countries and 15 languages. So we have no limits for now. And also, one of the amazing systems that we introduced to our creators or writers, or the people who shares on our platform, which is lightning zaps. So you get sets reward when you create a piece of content. So that zaps amount, it depends on the article originality or the contents within the article. So if it's original made by you, so you get a certain amount of zaps. Or if it is translated from a language to another language, you get your zaps from participating to our platform. And also you can get zapped from your followers and your readers, because we have the support of zapping. You get, so it's like you get zapped from you writing from our large community from, like I said before, plus than 100 countries, and you can set up your unique NIP05 ID and receive instant sets. So it's like it's like motivation for the creator to join our platform and start directly writing and publishing through our ecosystem. So through decentralizations, so Yakihon has connected creators from 100 countries around the world, so bringing together the diverse talents skilled in content productions and project evolutions and hackathon competitions. So uh, as some of you or some of you know or doesn't know, so Yakihon recently have multiple events and hackathons that we organize. So one of them like hackathon for projects built on Nosu. So if you have an idea or a complete project, so we have this hackathon, so you can participate and expose your work through our community and uh, um, and get judged by our amazing judges like Fiat Jeff and more top OG on the Nostr community. And also you can have the cultural exchange. So this has become a bounced aspect of Yakihon community. So with the latest uh, uh, update of Yakihon, so we received uh, great appreciations and presence from the top OG of Nostr community. And by saying that, so I said the name of Jeff, and he appreciate our contribution to the Nostr community by giving us a fund, so we can also keep growing our work and keep contributing to the Nostr ecosystem. So from our users and the top writers that we have on our community, so we have the amazing reviews, like you see. For example, it's from Pablo, which is well-known developer and contributor to the Nostr community. So and so many other people and organizations that have tried and used our platform. Um not to mention, that at the end we have the mobile applications, and we have the mobile application and the website, so you can check on those. So the for the mobile applications is like yeah, it's in the testing phase of I mean, like it's like the beta test or something. We try to implement friendly user experience to our clients. I mean, to our users and our community with many options and interaction with the application. And also we have the it's ready to use the websites. Um, So I would like to thank everyone who's already participated to Yakihon, and the who are not, you can join us by joining the Telegram group or visiting our websites. It's free to use, and you can share your ideas, your content, your I don't know, or your creations without limits, without censorship, and you can get motivated by the Zap function that we have, and the grant the grant weekly promotions, so you can get sets and all of that. So just a small introduction to our website. I want to show you the directly the website that we have. So as you can see from the landing page, you have all the informations you have. So you have the uh, trending creations. So for example, in here, like Yakihon, it has like for example 10 articles in one creation. So you can see the amazing friendly user interface, like so you can check all the articles within simple creations. And I'm like confident to say that we are the first who did that and implemented that between others scientific and articles media platforms. Also, you can see the articles from within all the relays that you set on your account. For example, in here we see from the older relays that I'm setting. So if I want to filter any relay specifically, or by choosing, for example, demos, I can see on the articles that publish on demos. And also you can see the top creators and the top creators from the all of the websites on Yakihon, and also filtered by the relay. So it's like dynamically used. And this one, for example, when I did all relays, so you have the creators, top creators from all the relays. But if you change the filter, you're gonna have the top creators from a specific relay. And I just want to mention the functionality which Yakihon are proud of it. And the first, like I said, the first to be implementing that, which is the creation. So you can see here all the creations that people has built, or you can build for yourself by creating articles and then group them within my creation. So, for example, you can create an article by using our smooth and futuristic editor. And then after creating the articles, you can gather those articles into like creation by creating a creation, and then gather up your articles within one creations. And if I go to some random articles, you can see here that we have some interesting functionalities, which is upvoting or downvoting the article with dependence on whether you like it or not, and have some comments. You can also comment on the article and bookmarking the article. And also we're gonna implement our own reporting system. It's coming in near future. Also, the most important and which users finds the best is like the zapping. So you can tip the articles or tip in directly the writer. So we have a couple of choices to do, and also following the article. So if you start creating and publishing on our websites, and your articles contents have the most valuable information, so people will follow you, and time to time we'll try to of course us within the like I said, the grant system. So we have everyday grant system that we can tip or zap people who publish really important articles through our website, our ecosystem. From So we can send the writer, we can say the writer directly or the creator directly, or we can tip for the articles. Um, Also, we have settings. So we have the bookmarks, the one functionality that we added recently. So if you, for example, like an article and you want to read it later, you can just bookmark it from here, and then go back later to read it. With that being said, we have the research functionality that you can search by keywords or by writers. For example, if I want to search the space keywords, I can have the articles or people that are interested by the space topics. So also we give the user the possibility to have the settings directly from here and not going to any place to do your settings. For example, the NIP address, configuring the NIP address or the Lightning address directly in here. You can configure and add your preferred relays, and also you can add preferred comments options. So Yakihon is really progressing on the Nostr ecosystem, and by that we each week we have some new updates. So we are keeping the flow. We are adding updates each week. We add new features, and we listen to our users for example, in the Telegram group. If you have any kind of concern, if you have any kind of feedbacks, we listen to you, and we appreciate for that feedback or questions, and we would be really communicating and trying to give you the best user experience. And at the end, I just want to thank the organizers for this time, for giving us this time to present and show our work. And I hope you like it. Don't forget to try it at least, and give us your thoughts and feedbacks. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. I think if anybody like Tomo, I think you are still here, right? If you want to have if you have some questions, yes, of Isaac and Yaki-on, I think you can discuss it, and you have one questions 10. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, you have one chance to ask one question to Isaac, and you can discuss the questions of Yaki-on or what here. Yeah, just here.
Yeah.
Yes, what I mean is, Tomo, if you have any questions of Yaki-on, and you can ask Isaac here. Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Now I understand. Okay, so I
Yeah,
just
I would be
that,
happy. Yeah, I would be happy to receive any questions about the platform or the business group. Yeah.
Right. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Tommy.
Okay. So I just presented that we are trying to bring in the decentralized database to Nostr community, and so I have a little bit of a technical question. So how do you store all the media files like images and I mean, if you're storing videos, where do you store those media files?
Yeah,
Are you using like
so
cloud storage or?
So to be honest with you, because I handle only the business operations and the marketing operations, I'm
Yeah,
not
sure.
aware of the technical questions. So if you have some times, I can put you directly to the technical group, responsible of the technical group, and you can discuss with him any information on that. Because I can't speak in like for his work or for his specialty.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's very not
That
to
would be
answer.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So if you have any time, I can put you directly into
Yeah.
contacts with him.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Tomo, and I think thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Yaki-on.
You're welcome.
And like I'm looking forward to Noster's Eco and Yaki-on's future. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think after Isaac's speech, next is Christian Passateri. Hi, Christian, are you here?
I am. Hello, everyone.
Hello. And it's your turn. It's your turn. You can share your screen and give us your speech.
Okay, sounds good. Let's cancel that. What just happened? Sorry, just a moment.
Okay, take your time. And what I want to ask, if any guest here want to contact any project you want to contact with, just DM me, and I will make some group for you. And you guys all could discuss some potential cooperation with each other. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Everybody.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Christian. I'm on the founding team at My Network. I oversee BD and marketing. And so we're excited today to talk about our zero trust framework and our zero trust bridge, and talk a little bit about how we're enabling cross-fi and cross-chain within Web3. So first, I just want to talk about zero trust generally. So the zero trust framework is a framework for dealing with data that says never trust, always verify data, which means that data must be treated as potentially damaged at every stage, at storage, at compute, and at transmission stages. So we have to add, in order to be in alignment with zero trust, an encryption process at every stage. And so that's really the heart of what we've tried to build. And we're seeing, we're deploying this this framework of zero trust into multiple applications. And today I'm going to focus on cross-chain, cross-fi, CBDCs. So I'll kick it off by saying that, broadly speaking, Web3 has a privacy problem, and all data on blockchains is transparent and public. And so our team has the thesis that in order for Web3 to really scale, we have to find a way to let retail users as well as institutional users have better access to privacy and security. So if we can provide sort of, think of it as like push button encryption, decryption over their data, whether that data is financial transactions, geolocational data, any kind of data that's going through Web3 or Web3 networks, this would be optimal for Web3 users as well as the oncoming traditional Web2 users, so that they can maintain privacy and better control over their data, and also better security. So so these are the problems that we're trying to solve. We'd like to make it so that people can have better security over their data, and we think that hopefully, if we continue to deploy these solutions, we'll be able to enable trillions of dollars of value to come in from Web2, specifically from traditional banks, from private chains, as well as being able to unlock fragmented liquidity within Web3 and to de-silo a lot of the value that is stored in singular chains at the moment. We believe that the future of Web3 will probably, or definitely is going to be multi-chain. So thousands of public chains, thousands of private chains, and there needs to be a way that they can all, that value can be transacted seamlessly from the user perspective, as well as securely from a regulatory perspective, and also maintaining privacy for the individual users. So this is how we achieve our zero trust framework. We use zero knowledge proofs for the input output, but we use, more importantly, fully homomorphic encryption to allow for data to be computed upon without the need for decryption. So once the data is gone through the ZK, a ZK proof is created of the data, we do not have to decrypt that data in order to run computation on it or to allow third-party computation upon that data. So fully homomorphic encryption has long been considered the holy grail of cryptography. Up until about a year ago, its primary use case was in gene sequencing, because genetic data is considered some of the most sensitive data, if not the most sensitive data. And we decided to try to apply it to Web3. So the ability will be to enable institutions and Web3 users to have push button encryption, decryption over their data, but also not, in very few cases will there ever be a need to actually decrypt the data, because you can run computation on it. So the good thing about this is that your data will always be secure. Our encryption scheme is quantum resistant. So even in the coming years, as quantum computing gains power, we still will be resistant to that. And so this is really a long-term framework that can exist for quite some time around securing your data. So we use the fully homomorphic encryption today is probably where ZKs were maybe 3 years ago. So it's still relatively new. There are still some problems to figure out, but we've deployed workable solutions in an SDK right now that are live. And we really think that within the next year or two, the FHE will be a mainstream term. There are projects popping up all over the place now. There was just an FHE EVM layer 1 that raised a really successful round with a tier 1 venture capital firm just a few weeks ago. So the genie is out of the bottle, so to speak. Now that we know that we can run third-party computation on encrypted data, the applications are going to be widespread. And so we're happy to be one of the first to the market with this solution. So now what I'd like to do is kind of hone in on cross-chain and talking about Web3, public chain to public chain transference of data. So right now, if you listen to if you look at the market, a lot of value is siloed into a handful of chains, and many of them are EVM compatible, which means that integration between the chains can be done typically in a day because roughly 95% of the code is about the same. And so that's great. But what about non-EVM chains? And what about private chains? Speaking with public chains, if we can lower the barrier of entry to conduct cross-chain transactions, we enable a world where the liquidity is not as siloed. And particularly in this bear market, we've seen the pains of siloed liquidity and of fragmented liquidity. It's reduced, I think, a lot of DApps' ability to bootstrap. Because they have to go to a handful of chains where there's liquidity and where there's projects, where there's transactions, where there's volume. And you may be able to get a much better start if you know that won't be an issue for the chain that you're deploying on, because truly it's a cross-chain, it's a multi-chain environment. And there's also a barrier, obviously, from the Web 2 world and traditional finance as well, because if they come into one of two chains, say it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, they now feel siloed because of the security issue of going from those chains to other chains. So a really good example is, Bitcoin, for example, only has about 1 to 2% of at any given time of bridged Bitcoin into other networks, and the most popular is wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. And a portion for that is because is obviously and certainly due to the kind of maximalist, Ooh, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah,
Part
I can
part of
hear
the
you.
Okay. So part of the reason that so much Bitcoin is locked up in the Bitcoin network and is not bridged is because of a mentality of Bitcoin holders. But there's also a substantial portion that probably would be uh, bridged into other networks if the bridge infrastructure was secure. Some of the problems and the most alarming breaches that have occurred in our industry have been on bridges. So there's definitely a hesitance there. So if there was a way we could create a secure bridge, which my network has done, from Bitcoin into other chains, we could allow some of that to flow in. And of course, Bitcoin is always roughly typically around half of the entire market cap. So this would be a lot of value that would be able to flow into other chains, which means it would allow other DApps to get off the ground. It would allow for better trading and market making and liquidity and all of these other chains, and basically help the entire ecosystem. So we think this is a really great problem to be solving at the moment. And this is a quick visual, a real 10,000-foot view of Chainlink's CCIP. I just use it as an example because it's probably one of the leading cross-chain protocols at the moment, if not the leading cross-chain protocol for certain. But the ability to go to be able to have secure messaging that allows a user to say, okay, I'm going to start out with Bitcoin, and I'd like to end up in this process with, Avalanche, or I'd like to be staking on some other network. I want to be getting, I maybe would like to aim for 5 or 6% yield on, whatever network. So having an intent-centric messaging system that's secured with FHE plus ZK, and then also allows for security and privacy as the transactions flow. So in other words, sender and receiver data can be protected by FHE and ZK. The transaction type, the asset itself, whether it's whatever the token is or if it's a fiat currency, and the volume of the transaction, of course, all of that can be protected by FHE and ZK. And the whole process then can be one in which we can rely on not just the execution of the transaction, but also the security of the messages that facilitate the transaction. And we would not have to manually take the transaction step to step, right? So, which is what we have to do today. So many of us that are engaged in DeFi activities, we're conducting all the bridges ourselves. We are calculating gas fees. We are finding the right apps to go cross-chain and the right bridges and all of these things. And this is still high maintenance from a traditional standpoint, TradFi standpoint. It's kind of high maintenance, even from a lot of Web3 users' standpoint. As the amount of chains proliferates, as we get more chains, this will be something that will be so time and energy extensive that it will be cost prohibitive. So this is just a little look at how we can see a cross-chain protocol being used. And you can imagine basically, adding FHE and ZK at this stage and adding it at this stage, encrypting information going to CBDCs, private chains to public chains to private chains. Just kind of an overview of how all that might look. And then I'll skip this for now. And yeah, I think just to kind of wrap up, so, fragmented liquidity is the real issue, we think, today, and lowering the barrier of entry for TradFi, as well as securing Web3 infrastructure in the way of bridges. These are all problems that we think will really enable trillions of dollars of value to flow into Web3, but also among public chains in Web3 to help builders build better and to be able to bootstrap their products more efficiently and more successfully, and also to deliver on what we think is one of the promises of Web3, which is users truly owning and having granular consent over their data. I think that was one of the promises of Web3 is, we want to tokenize assets in both digitally native assets as well as real world assets, so that we can have ownership over these things, and then we want to be able to control them and offer consent to them in a way that makes sense for us. So we see this framework, this zero trust framework, as a necessary step. So that's all for me. Happy to take any questions.
Yeah, I think if anyone have questions, you can just ask Christian. If you don't have any questions, you can DM Christian, I think, or DM Man Network. Yes. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for your speech. And I think I'm looking forward to see the future's Man Network. Okay, so next we will give the warm welcome to Margie. Margie, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Hi. Okay. You
Hello.
can start your speech, and if you have some deck or what, you can share your screen.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm sorry, I don't have a presentation. So hopefully, I don't have a deck, but hopefully I don't bore you. I'll make it, try to make it as fun as possible. So hello everyone, my name is Margie Feng. I am the marketing manager from Bitmain. Very happy to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me. So my presentation today, I'll give a little introduction of Bitmain, and then I'll talk about POW mining, and then I will talk about our ASIC brand at Miner. And by the way, all of our team right now is in Dubai for Blockchain Life. So if you're in Dubai, come check us out. Okay, so a little history of Bitmain. So we were founded in 2013, and all of us know that BTC was invented in 2009, and we were founded in 2013. And then in the same year, we mass produced our first miner. It's the BTC miner and miner S1. So that's our very first one. And then in 2014, we launched Npool. And for those of you who have mined, Npool is a mining pool, one of the leading platforms of mining pools right now. And then 2015, our BTC miners took up the largest market share, and we launched BTC.com. And then in 2017, we set up entities in the US, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. So basically, we are everywhere in the world, and we launched several POW miners. And then we continue to optimize our hash rate, computing power. In 2019, we led the industry into the era of 40 joules per terahash. And then we keep optimizing, and in 2021, we led the industry into the era of 20 joules per terahash. In 2022, we start to promote hydrocooling and hydrocooling miners, technologies, containers. And for those of you who have mined, you might be familiar with mining, like how much energy electricity it is consumed. So we're trying to moving toward green energy. So we want to use hydrocooling. We're exploring like different powers, different energy sources. And then 2023, which is this year, we happily announced that we led the industry into the era of 10 joules per terahash. We launched our latest miner, S21 and S21 Hydro, in our World Digital Mining Summit, which we just held this September. It was a very big summit, and many mining companies, investors, and finance people came, and we launched our miners. So that's a pretty big deal, a pretty big event that we hosted this year in Hong Kong. And so our ASIC brand, moving on to our ASIC brand, Antminer. So Antminer provides computing power and infrastructure solutions with excellent energy efficiency ratio for global blockchain networks. So basically, our customers are in more than 100 countries and regions around the world. So everywhere you go, you can see Bitmain customers. And we have multiple production bases, which are located in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Shenzhen, which is where I'm from. And we have the market share of BTC and other digital currency mining machines ranked first in the world. So we're the world's leading manufacturer of cryptocurrency miners. And we do have different R&D centers. So our R&D centers cover 14 countries and regions, including the US, Singapore, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, etc. So we have a very big team to serve people, to serve our customers who mine in different parts of the world. And moving on to the POW mining. So basically, we provide mining machines and mining solutions. So for the mining side, we have so our basically the ROI is for construction and operation ROI is 50%, and then our mining ROI 62%. And it is particularly a very good opportunity right now to mine, because the cost is relatively low comparing to the bull market. And that's how I went to different conferences, and people have telling me that it is a good time to try it out, to explore mining, and I want to try it too, but I can't. So it's a pretty good opportunity right now. So if you want to explore mining, contact me or contact Bitmain. So Bitmain, our goal, one of our goals is to support the POW communities. And we uphold win-win cooperation, long-term value, and trustworthy partnership values. We provide very innovative business models, which is the non-fixed price sales model, on-rack mining solutions, market fluctuation protection, which is like if the market prices go down, we will give you protection, and so you don't lose too much money, or we kind of protect you from losing money. And we promote the construction of mining facilities. And we do hosting, and we do consign to own models. So all of the details, if you want to know, you can go visit our website, and we have details on our website. Also, we do a lot of give back, giveaway. In the bear market, we issue a lot of Antminer coupons to customers in the amount of several hundred million since June 2022. And also, we do a lot of Twitter spaces to support the POW communities. And during this Twitter spaces, we also issue a lot of coupons and sometimes free miners. So if you are interested in getting a free miner or getting coupons, you can participate in our Twitter spaces. Usually it's very fun, and I'll host those. So also, we have liquidity support to long-term customers. We provide cash loans in the amount of several $100 million to help customers to overcome the credit crunch. And we expand hosting cooperation to increase customers' cash flow. So basically, we do everything catering to our customer demands, and we want to protect their rights and protect their money. So that's what we do. So besides Bitmain, we have different like partners. Like the one I just mentioned, we have Npool. So Npool is a leading cryptocurrency mining pool that provides safe, stable, and efficient mining pool services. And it actively participates in the ecological construction of the POW community. And also we have Alpha. If you have not heard of it, it is a leading crypto asset management platform. So it basically gives you loans to do hosting or construct mining facilities. And also we have Bitfufu. It is a cloud mining platform. So it provides digital asset mining service, and it is the world's leading cloud service provider. So basically, we have different brands. We have Antminer, we have Npool, we have Alpha, and Bitfufu. It's a pretty big team, and to serve you along the way of mining. And then let's go into Antminer. So we try to provide the best hash rate. We try to provide you the best experience. So since we were founded in 2013, we have already optimized our energy efficiency by more than 100 times. And our hash rate, it is increased by more than 1,400 times. So I think it's a very big improvement, and that's why we are always the #1 in market share. And I think anyone who mine will have heard of Bitmain before, and that's why we continue to do that since 2013. So the hash rate of Antminer BTC miners has increased by 3 orders of magnitude, and the energy efficiency have improved by 2 orders of magnitude. And the S21 that we have launched in 2023, which is this year, is leading us into 10 joules per terahash era. So it is a very big step for us. So POW miners, I will talk about something about, because I am managing the POW community development. So I will talk more about POW. in my presentation. So firstly, I will talk about what tokens that we cover. We have, of course, BTC, BCH, BSV. Also, we have LTC and Doge, L7. That's one of our biggest one, a very, very popular one, L7. We have miners for Caspa, KS3, which is a very popular one too. I think we totally sold out. I think it's sold out during like WDMS, so it's very popular. Also, we have ETC. E9, so the miner is E9 Pro. We have ETC. We did a lot. We did a lot to support ETC community. So we have ETC Grand Style. Don't know if you have heard about it. It is a project that is sponsored partly by Bitmain and ETC Cooperative. So basically what we do is that we choose we choose projects that has great potential to fund. And so now we just finished the first round of funding. We selected 17 projects and they're all in very good progress. And we will have a second round and third round. That's what we do, like the ETC Grand Style program. Also, we have ZEC, we have Z15, Z15 Pro, and CKB, K7, Dash, D9, and KDA, K3. And also for LTC, we did we founded this LTC Labs with LTC Foundation, and so basically support them with their events, with their tokens, and and on the other hand, we do a lot of sponsorship to events such as like POW Summit to support the POW development. So that meeting, POW Summit, was just held in Prague this October or September. In Prague in September, that was hosted by ETC and LTC. So that's the first round of that summit, and it's very fun, partly because it's in Prague too. So last but not least, we have this very extensive after-sales service network to ensure that you have a smooth mining experience, and to ensure that you have this good mining experience with Bitmain. So basically, we have 22 maintenance outlets. We have more than 100 certified technicians getting ready to repair your miners. And we have 2 customer contact center, 1 spare part warehouse, and 10 overseas spare part warehouse. We have more than 200K maintenance volume per year, and more than 50K consultation volume per year. Also, in addition, we have more than 92% service satisfaction and 99.5% operation and maintenance online qualification rate per year. So basically, we have people and places for you, like getting ready to make sure that you have a good mining experience. So basically, that's all of my presentation. And I want to say here that because I do POW, and if you have good POW projects or events or panels or events like this, you can let me know. You can DM me, and we will think about, like helping you, supporting you, sponsoring you, and to develop the POW ecosystem together. And also, you can pay attention to our miners, S21 and S21 Hydro. They are our latest miners, and I think it will surprise you with great computing power. And I'll take some questions if you have some. That's all of my presentation.
Thank you, Maggie. And thank you for your speech, and thank you for your time. And
Mhm.
I think we will, if anyone have some questions for Maggie, you can DM her. Maybe they can search you on Twitter, right?
Yeah, it's Margie Fang LL.
Okay. Great,
Yes.
great. Thank you
Mhm.
for your time.
Mhm.
And I think we will have a 15 minutes break. And after that, we will have another panel stage. So thank you, Maggie. Goodbye.
Thank you.